Hi, you guys. Wanted to just make a quick kind of video description yeah, it's a video of some journals that I listed this morning in my Etsy shop. So anybody who was on my live stream yesterday will remember that I started on 6 of these little flashcard box, kind of junky, trashy sort of vintage journals. And I was actually able to get them all finished. So I do have them listed in my shop. As soon as the video uploads, I will go ahead and activate the listings. But I wanted to, do a little bit of a flip through so that anybody who's interested can see what's inside. So I've basically got 2 different sizes. So these are made from obviously an old flashcard box. All of these were, probably early 70s. And well, that's what the front is. That's what the cover is. The bottom part of the box, I wasn't able to actually salvage it, as well as the front. So I just used a little, like a piece of a little golden book as the back cover on most of these. So it's kind of a combination, but I don't know. I just love the boxes, and I thought, what a cool thing to make out of them. So anyways, it's a repurposing type of thing, right? So each one is bound with book rings, which has their book rings have their pros and their cons. What I love about them is that you can actually fit quite a bit of stuff in these. There's quite a few pages. Each one is right around 100 pages. I don't think I counted. I mean, I didn't count each one, but the one that I did count was a little more than 100 pages. So at least that. And you could probably add at least another 20 or 30. So depending on the thickness. So I love that you can put a lot in them. I also love that you can rearrange things. You can move things around where you want them. And the types of things that you can put in them is quite varied, right? Like you can just take a little card like this, punch a hole in it, and put it wherever you want it, and I love that. So I was able to basically clear out an entire drawer of ephemera that I have, collected and not really been able to use in some of the more like traditional journals, just because there's a lot of it, and a lot of it is very unrelated and not really themed. And so I thought this would be a really good way for me to use up a lot of that stuff and kind of share it with you guys. So it is really, seriously, just a hodgepodge of random, some older than others, like vintage ephemera. And I mean, some of it I can't even explain to you what it actually is. Certain things, like there's, oh my gosh, somebody's like driver's license, or this stock certificate, bridge score sheets. Obviously we know what those are, but this is an old pamphlet for a camera. This is a page from an old pamphlet. Some typing book, or I guess that's a stenography or something. Like this. This is just a postcard that was mailed to somebody quite a long time ago, 1943, I think. these are pages from like a receipt book for insurance. This is one of those little things that, if from like an electronic horoscope machine, you put your hand on it and it like prints out this like horoscope. So I used some of my tags in some of the pockets. I think each one of these journals has at least, I don't know, 2 or 3 of my tags. I've added some stickers. These are obviously modern stickers. Some little price stickers, and then you know, things like that. Some eco-dyed paper right here. Some envelopes that I've made out of book pages, and obviously flashcards. There's a lot of flashcards in these. I like them because they're sturdy and I don't know, I think they're cool looking. And then I took a whole bunch of scraps of wallpaper and just, you know, used those to basically fill the pockets. Where I didn't use like a handmade tag, I used wallpaper. So there's some scrapbook paper, not a lot. You won't find a lot of blank paper in these. You know, I really just was trying to use up as much of this ephemera as I could, you know. So not a ton of blank space, but you will find some. And like I said, you know, they're definitely expandable. Like you could add quite a bit more to these. Like this is a negative it's a black and white negative. I don't know, it's an image of 4 people standing near a car. This happens to be like a Christmas type of thing, I think. But anyway, so each one is completely different than the next, and you know, they're just trashy. They're journals that, you know, I just made to use up stuff. And I feel really good about it because I was able to empty that drawer. And so when I was putting this together, what I did was I just pulled everything out of that drawer and made it, you know, into piles, sorted it out into piles. And so I took whatever was in those piles and punched them and, you know, punched the holes and stuff. And then whatever was left over, or whatever, you know, wouldn't kind of fit comfortably in here, or stuff that I also felt would be good to use in pockets or, you know, things like that, I went ahead and just saved that stuff into a little wax paper bag. And so I've included the rest of the pile with each one. So the contents of each of those bags is going to be different for each journal. But you're going to see quite a few like playing cards, different types of cards. These are from some kind of game. I can't remember what the game is. You know, just a bunch of random stuff. But most of it is actually vintage. So some Monopoly money. And then I added a sheet of reinforcement stickers, reinforcer stickers, whatever you call them, for you to use on pages if you feel like they need them. So I did use them on a lot of the pages that I put in the book, but you might feel like you need them on other pages. So, because I didn't do every single page, so I just added a sheet of those for you. And then, I don't know, I just thought, you know, why not? Some foil stars. And then I had a bunch of these kind of hanging around from back when I had a food truck. Just some other little cutouts. These are just some alpha little papers. These are from book pages. So these are kind of like journaling cards that I guess you would use in the pockets and that kind of stuff. Some really cute old vintage children's book pages. This is from a picture dictionary, and you can see that there's holes punched in those. So you could just add them right to the journal if you wanted to. And then I had printed out a whole bunch of these old pictures. They're just random pictures of people. And so I put some of those in there. These are from some flashcards that I cut apart. And then there's a little collection of these type of things. These are from another picture dictionary that I have. And yeah, so these are some more from that same one as I showed you a little bit ago. And then at least one page from this like wildlife encyclopedia. So I was sort of trying to go with like at least an educational type of material, I guess, in the additional stuff that I added to the journal, other than just the ephemera. So because it was the flashcard box, so that's why I went with like the dictionary and the encyclopedia pages and that kind of stuff. And then I took a whole bunch of the scraps of wallpaper that I have in this little basket, and got out all my paper punches and punched a bunch of different shapes out of wallpaper. And I thought these would be kind of cool to use in the journals. You could just glue these onto the pages, or you could use them in clusters. You could, use them as little tuck spots in different places in the journal, that kind of thing. So I just thought those were kind of fun and helped me use up some of my scraps of wallpaper. So yeah, I sat and did this for a couple of hours, actually, punching out shapes. And then I included a little bag of the postage that I am also offering for sale in my shop in a larger quantity, obviously. But I just added a few. This is postage. It's vintage postage that is on paper, so it's still on the envelope, it's just been torn off of the corner. So there's probably about, 15 or so postage stamps in there. And I like to use those as tuck spots in journals. I like to use them as the base of a cluster, that kind of thing. So they're just kind of fun to use in a lot of different ways. So there's two different sizes on these. So this is when I do a series of journals, I usually give them a stock number. So this is FC number 1, so flashcard number 1, right? Pretty complicated. So this is number 1, and then this would be number 2. And then I added one of my vintage style paperclip beads on the front of each one. There's a little eyelet with a little tiny book ring there, so you could add more charms and that kind of stuff if you wanted to. And a lot of people like to tie other things onto the rings too. So that's an idea. So this is FC number 2. Same kind of thing. It's got a couple of my tags in there, and I'm not going to do like a complete flip through on each one, but very similar. This one happens to have a what do you call that? Oh my god, a ruffle on the back, and then its little bag of goodies. So 2 different sizes. That's what I was trying to talk about. So this there's 3 of this size, okay, and then 3 of the taller ones. So the first 3 are actually, let's see, about 6.5 by 4, okay, and then right about 2 inches in thickness. And then the taller ones are about 7 1/4 by, I would say, 3 1/2, and then the same, about 2 inches in thickness. Actually, it's more like 1 3/4 in thickness. So, and I stopped adding to these when they started to alligator a little bit. You know, if I added too much, they started kind of alligatoring a little bit. So that's kind of where I drew the line. So, because I wanted them to lay nice and flat initially. So, anyway, so yeah, so I've got 6 of them. This is number 3 right here, with kind of a pink and teal sort of color scheme, I guess. And then this is, let me make sure, I think this is number 4. Yeah, this is number 4. And this one's kind of got an orange and kind of rusty sort of color variation. And then this is number 5. Yep, number 5. So it's kind of a red, white, and blue sort of thing. This is more of a teal blue, though. And then number 6. Yep, just making sure. So I kind of went like pink and green on this one, and with a little bit of red, you know. But yeah, so these are all listed in my shop right now. You can see 10 images of each one in the listing, so you can get a really good idea of what's inside of each one that way. And so I'll go ahead and get this uploaded, and if you have any questions, do not hesitate to ask. And yeah, so oh, and I got the don't forget, I got the paperclip beads, the boho style paperclip beads are now listed in my shop too. So by request. And real quickly, if you have no idea what I'm talking about, I'm talking about these little guys, these little charms that I've been completely addicted to making. So I've got these now listed in my shop as well. You'll see them if you go to sections, they're in embellishments. Or if you view all items, they should be probably still on the first page. So, okay, and you get a deal when you buy like 3 or 5 of those. So I've got quite a few that I've listed. So just wanted to throw that out there. But also look for some tag packs coming probably by the end of today. I'm going to get at least 3 or 4 packs of tags listed for sale. I think I'll do a couple different size packs. So, all right, you guys. Well, thanks for watching. Try and, be good to each other. And I will see you on Wednesday for my live stream. Okay, take care. Bye.